Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, who can do that better? Good morning.
Good morning.
That's better. Welcome, everyone, to the Toronto Spirit Society. Glad to be here with you all. Welcome everyone who is online joining us. We are happy to have you as well. We have our digital medium Carlos over there on the chat. Feel free to make your comments or questions and participate with us. Today we continue with our theme of the month, which is really studying about Jesus' parables, and we call it In Jesus' Arms. Who doesn't feel the need here and there to be in Jesus' arms? All of us, right? One day or another. And I think when we stop to study a little bit of the parables and read those messages and meditate those messages, it does help us to put things in perspective, because we do need to put things in perspective. Today we have our dear friend Denise, who prepared with lots of care and love a lecture with the title, Do We Understand Our Father's Love? And sometimes we have a hard time to understand. So we will go through that. But before, I would like to ask our brother Otto for the initial reading. We will come back for the prayer, and then we go to the lecture. Otto, please.
So I'm going to read a passage from the book Happy Life from Divaldo Pereira Franco by the Spirit Joana de Angelis. The passage is, as you encounter problems on your path and the rough tests of evolution, take refuge in a prayer of belief in God, which will keep you from falling into the abyss of rebelliousness. A little inner silence and concentration, your soul in a supplicating posture and open to inspiration, these are the conditions needed to let the pacifying divine response to come. Make the climate of prayer a habit, and you will be in a perennial communion with God, strengthened for the challenges along the way. Thanks.
Thank you, Otto. Dear God, we thank you for another blessed day in this planet. Here we are seeking refuge under your protection, under the arms of Jesus extended to us through the good spirits, our guardian angels, and the incarnate brothers and sisters who are here around us, seeking for the same support, the same strength. We ask that the good spirits here present may enlighten our hearts and our minds, so that we absorb the most of the divine lessons that we are going to hear in the next few minutes. And we also ask to all of those who are on their way to join us, to all of those who are not able to join us, or to those who are listening to this recording, may we all receive the encouragement, the strength, the help, the assistance that we all need. We ask the blessings from the above to our children, and we especially ask for our dear sister Denise. May she be inspired. May her heart fill our hearts with the lights from the above. Thank you, and so be it. Denise.
Hello, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
So happy to see you all here. Summer, so hot weather. It's so good to be outside and enjoy outdoors in Canada after so many months of cold weather, but it's good to see your commitment to be here this Sunday morning. And today we're going to be talking with you regarding do we understand our Father's love? For me in particular, when I was preparing for this lecture, I learned about silence. And let's start, and I hope you guys also could grab good lessons from it. So what is love? Everybody has quite of a own concept of love, because love is something that you feel. I cannot compare what I feel with what someone else feels. I know what is love for me, the way I feel love, the way I perceive love, but I cannot define the same for my brother or sister. Each person has a different perceive of love. And then I thought, every time I do a lecture, I start with the etymology, but this time I thought, it's so particular. And I saw this article where they grab a group of children of 4 to 8 years old and ask them, what does love mean? And I got like a few answers that I thought very insightful. So there is this one little girl, age 6. So what does love mean? And she answered, if you want to learn how to love better, you should start with someone you hate. I don't know if you guys have the opportunity to be with little kids around. At the same time, that sometimes they look at you and they quite not understand we're talking. Sometimes they come with these deep quotes that you just stop, oh, what's going on here? We were just talking about, I don't know, something very silly, and they come with these deep things. What is really nice, right? So, look, it's 6 years old saying that if you want to learn how to love better, you should start with someone you hate. So she was bringing quite a challenge, right? She wasn't here for the easy path. She started to say it's something difficult that you need to go for it. We have Donna, age 6 as well, and she told, my mom loves me more than anyone else. You don't see anybody else kiss me goodnight when I go to bed. You have Sandy, age 8, say that when my grandma got arthritis, she couldn't bend over the pain her toenails anymore. She couldn't paint her toenails anymore because the arthritis pain. So her granddaddy does it for her grandmother, even after he got arthritis himself. So for her, this is love. We have Andy, age 7, who told, love is what is in the room on Christmas if you stop, open your present, and listen. So when you stop to open the presents and listen, that's love for him. Oh, another really deep answer, right? And there is this one, Jack, age 4, that say, love is when your pup licks your face, even when you left him alone all day. So he goes home, he spends all the day out, and the pup is there waiting for him, and with so much affection, trying to show the affections that he feels. So you see so many different concepts, some of them bringing like the sacrifice for each other, others bringing this more deeper idea of this presence that surrounds us. But the issue is that love is there. These kids are feeling love. Even though they use their own words to express, they use different experiences that they had, all of them are in pursuit of this feeling that everybody talks about, and that quite go parallel with happiness. Because, love and happiness, they quite work together. When you think about one, it's kind of, to achieve happiness, we need to have the love. It's it's together, both of them, right? And when we talk about our Father's love, we are also talking about the divine providence, because that's how we feel this love of this superior, like this supreme intelligence that surrounds us. That's how we feel his love for us, is when this divine providence keeps present in our lives and is there every day. We just need to open our eyes to see it, right? And this divine providence is governed by the infinite wisdom that belongs to God. And everybody agrees upon that. That it's kind of the divine providence come quite of together as well with the law of justice. We see who deserves the support, you're going to find the support. Some people are going to have a rough way, but we know. But when it comes with wisdom, comes the intelligence aspect, right? You rationalize about it. But when you talk about the unconditional love, the infinite love that always comes with the divine providence, that requires a deeper reflection. Because the love is not something that you can just try to use your rational part to think about it. And love is something that happens in ways that our reason cannot understand. And that brings a real challenge for us, right? Because we know that love has reasons which reason cannot understand. But how does our Father's love is present in our daily life, right? The love itself. We think about his wisdom. When some quite challenged times come, we try to take a deep breath and try to analyze, okay, how can I go through it? But it's really different when we talk about the love presence, to feel love, right? And it's important to think about this love and how society try to understand this God's love in our life. So we need to think a little bit about religion versus religiosity, because religions are the human organizational aspects of religiosity. So the community understands that it needs to live a religious experience, so it organizes sites, events, actions that coordinate, generate religious movements. So it's quite of the way that men try to organize this relationship, this communication between you and God. So comes the religion. So it's something organized, you have the groups. Each religion has their own rituals, their own ways to establish this connection where you can feel God's love in your life, right? But when you talk about religiosity, it's the relationship between you and God. There is no one else in between. It's you and God. And in the core, this is the core, it's the center of our spiritual revelation. When you think about it, like we cannot, sometimes we come here, we heard a lecture. It's not that we need to agree 100% with it, but we have common things, a common ground that we try to discuss about it, right? But your relationship with God, only you knows what you're going through. We come here, we bring our own experience, but the way that you relate to God, it's up to you, right? So it's your inner self, deepest relationship with God. So when you think with you, like with no masks, with no demands, with no 10 commandments, it's you and him. How this relationship is going on, right? And when you think about relationship, you need to understand that it's not only you, it's you and God, right? And imagine quite challenges this relationship between you and God, right? It's quite a challenged relationship. It's not easy. Imagine we have parents, we have family members, we have friends that sometimes we disagree, but we feel like if he's incarnate on earth, we are quite the same level. We are quite on the same page. He understands. But when you think about God, okay, it's another level. But that's something that we need to we're going to see that it's not that hard to overcome. So there is this, he's a French philosopher, his name is Emmanuel Levinas, and he's a Lithuanian Jewish ancestry, and he has a work related to Jewish philosophy, existentialism, ethics, and he brought this very interesting quote where he says, God is one sense, the other par excellence. When you think about that, it's kind of God is the other person. God is in the other. God is in our brother and sister. They are his creation, as we are. So look how different this relationship changes. If you look to your brother and sister like God is there. I'm talking to God's creation. He loves me as much as loves her, and she's part of his creation, so she's also, God is in her. Changed quite a lot, right? When we open the eyes for this aspect, it's a really intense way to look someone else, right? And in this relationship, where God is the other person, and he is like, we use person, but it's not like a person, you cannot materialize him. Sometimes we try to see God as this bureaucrat. Oh my gosh, he's so busy with so many souls around the world, creating troubles, but he has a special relationship with you. He looks at you as an individual as well. Sometimes you think that, oh, my problem should be really like low level, he has more interesting things to do, but it's not that. He loves you as you are, hoping that you're going to learn and grow, but it's a deep relationship between him and you. He looks at you, and they have this incredible network of spirits in different levels of evolution working together to make this connection, to make his presence closer and closer to yourself, right? And another thing about relationship is that sometimes we think we know the best and we want things in a certain way, but actually sometimes that's not the way they're supposed to be. I have a toddler, he's a 3-year-old, and he's quite stubborn. So sometimes I try to use I'm your mother, you should do this, listen to me. And he's quite I'm not going to listen to you, I'm going to jump, and that's what I'm going to do. He's just like, I just look at, I know, the moment that I'm going to turn my face to one side, he's going to do it. No, doesn't matter. So it's a relationship, I know. I will advise him, sometimes I come, but there's few things that he wants to do his way. But in our relationship we have both, we have two. We have us and we have God, and we have our choice. Even though I'm his mother and I try to protect him, I can't. We can't be 24/7 looking at another human being and try to avoid him to do something. The same as God, that's why we have our free will, right? So when you think about this relationship, we also need to think about this. God knows the way, he knows the path that we should go, but that doesn't mean that we go through. And that doesn't mean that we understand what he has for us. Sometimes we only have this idea that, okay, he has this expectation that I'm going to turn myself in an angel, a pure, elevated spirit. It's not that he expects this will happen from one night to another day. He knows it's a long path. But we are very good in trying to find excuses to get the shortcuts. There are not really shortcuts, but that's what we try to do, right? And this relationship is also very particular because when you think about God, this relationship, you think that I'm relating to God. And God, he's absolute, and I'm not. Right? He is infinite wisdom, and I'm very limited wisdom. He's infinite love, and I am conditional love. And doesn't matter what I do, he still loves me. And that's hard, right? Because sometimes it's so easy when you are mad with someone and they try to be good to you and you push them until the moment that they say, okay, I quit. And you say, yeah, I know you're going to quit at some point. We try to push them into the edge, into that moment that they, okay, I quit too. You want to quit? I quit. Okay? And with God, He will never quit. His absolute, His wisdom, His infinite love. We still have our limitations, right? And we need to go through this path, accepting this love. So it's one of the first things, I think. That's why the first commandment is about love Him. Because when you love Him, you need to accept His love for you. So you need to love yourself too. Because you need to understand that you are worth it. And if you are worth it, you need to love yourself. You need to bring this feeling in everything you do. Right? There is a passage in the book, Good News. It's good. Boa Nova is by the Espírito Humberto de Campos, psychographed by Chico Xavier, where Simon Peter, it's funny because sometimes they call him Simon Peter, but it's Peter. He asked Jesus, Sir, in the face of your teachings, how should we interpret your first manifestation, turning water into wine in the wedding at Cana? Wasn't that a mundane party? The wine would cooperate for the development of drunkenness and guiltiness? So look, in this moment, Peter's questioning the reason that he did that. Why he did that? This is not a good thing to do. He's thinking about all the problems that alcohol brings, right? And then Jesus, of course, he understood the scope of the question and smiled back. And he asked Simon, you know the joy of serving a friend? And Simon does not answer. He keeps in silence. So the master continued. The wedding at Cana were a symbol of our union on earth. The wine there was the joy with which I want to seal the existence of the kingdom of God in their hearts. I am with my friends and love them all. The affections from our soul, Simon, are mysterious ties that lead us to God. So try to that moment that he did what he did, he was trying to show his affection, the love that he felt for his friends. He tried to make everybody there to felt loved and understand. He could go there and do a very big speech about gluttony and drunkenness and how and what a shame that they were wasting their times doing celebrations like that. He could, but there was a time of joy. He was expressing his love. He was embracing his brothers and sisters in the condition that they had at this moment and showing his affection in the way that they could understand. They were able to understand, they appreciate the effort that he took to make that party be remembered by everyone. You know? He's not even a relative. He could just say, okay, the wine is gone, I have nothing to do with it, I'm just a guest here, it's not my problem. But he wanted to celebrate this union. So when you think about the reasoning and the emotional aspect, see, for Simon, drunkenness, gluttony; for Jesus, love, embrace, comfort. So sometimes we try to use the logical aspect, but love comes in ways that we don't understand, right? Emmanuel tells us the divine providence cannot descend to miss us. He always keeps a divine pattern, but deeply loving, right? He comes. So this pattern of love, it's around us. We just need really to try to connect ourselves to this feeling. Mother Teresa has a very interesting thing about love, about this feeling. She allowed a writer to do a book about prayers. He gathered prayers that she did, and he did this book. Then another journalist went to interview her, and he told, Mother Teresa, what do you say to God when you are praying? And she said, I didn't say nothing. I just listen. Oh, so beautiful. And so if you are listening, what does he say to you? And she tell him, he doesn't say anything. He just listen. And you can listen to this and think, this is a joke. So I don't say anything, he's listening, he doesn't say anything, I'm just listening. What's going on there? Because love doesn't need to be verbal. You just need to feel it. So when she's in really deep connection with God, when she's doing her prayer, she's listening to him, he's listening to her, but no words needs to be speaking. She's just feeling. Right? Like, imagine, anyone here already fell in love? That when you start to feel in love, do you really need to say something? It's just like, you just look to the person. No words needs to be said. The feeling is there, do you know? And that's why when I start to prepare for this lecture, I was thinking about silence. As a woman, I have a tendency to overthink and overtalk everything. I need to talk. I need to put my feelings out there. Oh, you need to understand, you need to... And then, when I listen to that, okay, maybe men love more? I don't know. Because, like, my husband's not quite the speaker. He has good attitudes, but he's not quite the speaker. But I have this, and when you listen to that, like, I don't say anything, I'm just listening. It's just the comfort that after this moment, after you love, after you feel this love about someone, you just sit beside it. No words needs to be spoken. The feeling's there, and there's no better place that you should be. You feel surrounded by that love, right? And it's so beautiful, so touchable. It's quite touchable. You feel that energy surrounding you, right? And if you think about love, you need to think about love itself is the language. The actions of love is the language. Everything else is like a sub-product, if you think about it. Because, and it's true, like sometimes when I need to verbalize, it's about other feelings, you know? It's not really about love. But anyway, you try to come, and at the end, you try to bring the love back. You really don't need to talk that much, all right? And I love God, and He loves me, and this love flows. That's what Mother Teresa is trying to say. I love Him, He loves me, this love flows. We don't need to say anything. We are together, right? And it's something that really touched me deep to understand and to realize this part of myself. And then what another way to talk about love if not by examples, right? So there is this book, Between Heaven and Earth, by Chico Xavier, by the Spirit André Luiz, and brings a really, really deep history about love's God and the divine providence in our lives, right? So first thing, when we think about Nosso Lar, our home, there is like thousands of spirits there. The spirits really evolved. And like there is the ministers. These are the most evolved spirits in Nosso Lar. They are coordinating all the activities. In this book, Between Heaven and Earth, we are talking about a little girl, and her name is Evelyn. She's the one that start the whole book. Because she's a little girl, and she does a prayer. And this prayer ends up in the hands of a minister of Nosso Lar, and his name is Clarencio. He's the same one that rescued André Luiz. And then, when he received the prayer, when he listened to that, he told, I'm going to take care of it. He was the one that told, I will be dealing with this myself. So a little girl doing a prayer, and the minister goes there. So you see, that's something really important, right? Evelina also was a spirit from nosso lar, from our home, and she reincarnated with a mission, very special mission, regarding other spirits of nosso lar. So he was really concerned about her prayer, and he decided to embrace her cause, right? So I don't want to spoil the book. I'm just going to tell a little bit, but I'm going to skip to the end and say that this prayer is going to be 100% answered. Everything that this little girl asked in her prayer is going to be answered, but it's going to take 2 years for this come to an end. So first lesson, patience. It's not going to happen in your time. It's going to happen when the time comes, right? So she came with this very important job, but becomes a really more complicated due to certain accidents on the road. So her mother, the name is Odila, discarnates. And her father marries again another woman named Zumira. Zumila? Yeah, Zumira. So what happens is that, unfortunately, Odila, the discarnate mother, starts to be an obsessor to Zumira, the new stepmom, and evolves in such a way that Zumira is almost dying, right? It's a situation full of feelings like jealousy, hatred, revenge, attachment, rebellion. It's overwhelming feelings that can corrupt any incarnations. If we let these sort of feelings control an environment, be sure it's really can compromise an incarnation, right? So you see this situation is a very complex situation. Clarencio say, I'm going for it. André Luiz, let me look. Can I go with you? And look and learn a little bit. Okay, André Luiz, let's go. And then he starts his journey. The book has 23 chapters. He spent like 22 chapters going there, talking to the spirits. And during these 22 chapters, you learn even more about the divine providence. There is this God actually particularly in your life. How all these spirits get together, talk, and do everything for that particular moment, right? So even though we have the universe and have billions and, trillions of spirits, there is this particular taking care of your life. And I cannot repeat that more, because we have this tendency to undermine our importance with God. To put ourselves, I have this, I'm not that important. You are important. Each one of us is important. Okay? So we are in this constant tutelage of the Creator, right? It's this giant network of intermediates. And you think, no, but sometimes my problem is like material problem. So of course God is not going to be looking into material problems. He will. If you think like about Kardec, at the end of his work, he was having troubles. He didn't have money to publish the books anymore. Even his financial bills was hard to keep going. And then in the book, I think it's Obras Póstumas, Post-Works, he asks the spirits and say, I have a financial problem. Do you mind? He asked the spirit of truth. Okay, imagine Kardec, I'm having a little bit with my special check in the bank. My checks are returning. I'm a little problem. Do you care about it? Because he could just say, no, this is material, not. And then what the spirit of truth says to him, if we did not care about it, it would be a sign that we did not love you. Of course we care about it. We're going to take care of it. It's not like he's going to win the lottery. It's not like, but they are going to find and create mechanisms that you are going to fulfill your work on earth. So don't think that some problems are too small for God. Every problem is a problem. He will try to make you see how can you go through it, right? But it's really important that we understand this love in every aspect of our life. Okay, God is infinite, He is transcendent, He is absolute. But we cannot fully understand God in the evolved path that we are right now, in the evolution that we are right now. We cannot fully understand Him. But that doesn't mean that we cannot fully love Him in the way that we know how to love. But love is in action. You need to do it. You need to go for it. You need to let yourself love. It's not something that, I love. But, I don't know. Sometimes I don't love. You need to commit that feelings, all the time. And it's not because we put Him as someone that is going to always love you and always forgive you that, okay, so, I'm so tired now and I'm going to, I'm just not going to do. No, because if you love, there's no hard times, you can take your times to take deep breath and ask for breaks, but you need to go for it. And He put this energy in us, right? When you think about the passions, right? We think about the passions that we feel. And sometimes we think that passions are bad things, right? Because, she's so passionate. They fight about it. We bring the passion feeling, like this energy that drives you and sometimes makes you go crazy and brings envy. But this energy is necessary. The Spirit says this energy is necessary. When you look like Paul and Stephen, God needed the energy of Paul. The passion that drove Paul to do what he did in the commitment with Christianity, with spread the Christian word, right? Imagine, he went to synagogues to talk about Jesus. Today, if we go to a seminar, we're going to have break time and then we go to a second lecture. With Paul, it's he was there speaking in a synagogue. People start to stone him. And okay, now it's break time. I'm going to another place and keep with another lecture. Do you know how much energy you need to do that? Do you know the passion that you need to feel it? It's something that is easy in us. Some people have this more strong feeling. Some people is more in a quiet, peaceful way. Paul had this strong feeling in him, and was necessary for Christian work. So when Jesus receives him, it's Stephen is on the right side, but Abigail is on the left side, the side of the feelings, the side of the forgiveness, the side to embrace. That was also necessary to him. So it's such beautiful histories that we can learn in so many psychographic books by Chico Xavier that bring us this new perspective of, we try to rationalize so much, but do you really need to think that much about love? We need to be really feeling it, make them be perceived. And in this book, as I told, it's 22 chapters of Clarencio going, because of course when Odila starts to obsess Zumira, it's not only her, she starts to attract other spirits, and comes that cycle, and then Clarencio goes one by one. And then he comes to the last chapters, where the name is Maternal Love. Look, the last chapter of the book, the name is Maternal Love. And then Clarencio goes with André Luiz, and André Luiz, now is the time. We're going that room. Clarencio is going to say, Odila, stop. You cannot do that. Come on, let's go to our home. He goes inside the room and tells André Luiz, we need to stop here. André Luiz, what? We've been working. How could we stop here? We have nothing to say. We need to wait. The help is coming. And then comes Irmã Clara. And she's the one that's going there. And Odila is there, beside Zumira's bed. Irmã Clara's go unnoticed by the two spirits. Nobody sees her. And the first thing she does, she extends her arms and starts to do a prayer. And she fills the room with that energy. She activates all her chakras. She connects and brings that energy to the room. And why she does that prayer? Because she wants Odila to know that her problems matter. Even though she used her passion in a wrong way, in a wrong direction, in a wrong intensity with that sister, her feeling was to protect her daughter. That's the thing that initiates everything. The thing that she got lost was this passion, and they put her there. So anyone could rationalize about that moment, like, Odila, you know what you're doing. Because when her daughter does the prayer, at the beginning of the book, when Evelyn does the prayer, she doesn't say, God help me. She say, oh mother. She does the prayer to her mother that could not receive the prayer at that moment. So we learn a little bit about, how can I say, refractile prayer? Because the prayers go to the mother. The mother is not able to, she's really not able to solve the problem. The prayer goes up, Clara says, okay, 911 call, this is mine. Let's go solve it. So this she goes there, Irmã Clara does the prayer, and then Odila felt that energy. And of course Irmã Clara talked to her, but she felt, since the first word, that her problem mattered. That the thing that she was feeling, the passion that drove her crazy, that made her do such bad things, really mattered. And that's what brought her back and make her rescue be possible. And then, see, no words, no really big words, right? Just the feeling surround her, giving her this energy, right? And when we think about it, of this feeling of being understood, it's a feeling that is so comfortable, right? Sometimes I see my little one. He gets so angry, or they think that I'm being justice to him. When he's playing, for example, and he hits someone, by mistake, it's not his intention, but I asked him, please say sorry. He feels so mad about it. Because for him it's like, but it wasn't my intention. It was like, I was doing something else and I hit him. I don't want to say sorry because I didn't want to hit him. It was an accident. And you try to explain that you need to say sorry, even though we know it's an accident. But he has this feeling that no one believes me or no one understands me. So you are asking me to say something that I didn't do in purpose. There was an accident. But they feel like they're being judged by what they did, right? And this feeling of being understood is a really, really important feeling that makes us sometimes, if we are having an argument with someone, if we stop a little bit and try to validate or try to show that, okay, I understand that your point of view comes from this, and that already gives more room to a better talk. Instead of just try to keep pushing your point of view. You know? Sometimes you just bring a step back and say, I understand that probably this point of view comes from this. You had experiences like that brought you to be like more tough. But, you know, you need to put yourself in this room where you can embrace the other's pain. Because when you are like arguing, there is pain and pain. It's like the spikes there. Everybody feels offended. Everybody has their own reasons. And we try to keep rationally talking about it, when sometimes just the silence and a big hug is enough to comfort and solve. Because sometimes we know there are problems that we cannot solve ourselves. We need to wait until this time that the divine providence will come and help us go through it. Right? The Paul letter to the Hebrews, he says, happy is he whom God received for a son, because God corrects everyone who he loves. So the moment they accept love as your God as your father, you know that he loves you, and you know that he's going to correct you. Because love is not only say yes, you need to say no. Sometimes say a no is the biggest proof of love that you can give to someone. It is such a hard way sometimes, because you try. There is books of Andrea Luiz. There is this mother that like 3 of her kids end up in wrong directions. And she says that her problem is because she couldn't say no to them. She just said yes. And they grow up with no boundaries. And it's hard. If it's hard to say a no, it's even harder to see the consequences of a yes could give to someone. Because a yes, you are encouraged to go in a wrong path. And it's really hard to see someone that you love facing this, because we refuse to damage your relationship with no's. You try to keep yourself in your comfort zone with a yes, and try to bring the free will. There exists. Oh, he did it because he did it. But you had a moment where you could be the instrument of this divine providence, saying a no, and try to bring that person to a different perspective. So it's so important that we can feel this God's love in this way, right? When you think sometimes about the Spiritist movement, there is other religions. I have a friend that is, my family is most Catholic. And one thing that my aunt says when she talks to me about religion is that, oh, you rationalize too much. When I go to the church, I just do my prayer, confess my sins, and everything is solved. With Spiritism, oh my gosh, it's too complex for me. You guys rationalize too much. Everything has, could be from previous life, could be from this life, could be from future life. Everything's possible. You come back from the future and brought this already. They know what you're going to do in the future. That's why you're facing this. But if you think about it, we need to go back sometimes to this simple aspect, to this genuine faith that the love feeling, that the good feelings bring into us, right? Chico Xavier once psychographed like a recipe for this old lady, saying to her by the Spirit Bezerra de Menezes, and give to her, okay, here it is, your medicine. So he received the recipe is homeopathic medicine, and he gives to the lady, and she looks, Chico, I don't have money to buy this medicine. She looks at her, I don't have neither. And then he's just a second. Okay, do you know what Dr. Bezerra told? Grab this paper, put in little pieces, put inside the water, and drink it. The medicine is there. So, both of them, okay, he gave the medicine. See, the medicine is here. So this medicine is going to work this way, because it's this medicine. Then he comes and, no, just put the paper inside. The medicine is there. It's going to work the same way. Faith, feelings, something that you cannot just is there, you know. When we think about human laws, we think like something that's so rigid, but like this law of humility, of compassion about, it's been incorporated all over the years. And some people just think that it's a way to get away with it. But it's not, because the law of compassion is a law like any other law. And it's part of our evolution. This love that comes with the compassion. To forgive someone. Even the human law today, you see, there's so many different aspects. You know? You see, like with social media these days, there was this judge that I saw in America court. Like the guy is there, it's just a traffic ticket, but he asked his kid to go. What do you think I should punish your dad? Should I just let him go with nothing? Should I make him buy the $30? He gave 3 options, and the kid told, yeah, he should pay the $50. And then they just told him, do you know what I'm gonna do? He's not going to pay for me the $50. He's going to give you, because you were fair here. You try to be fair. Even though it's your father, you try to be fair. So see so many different options. Sometimes we just think to go hard and, the death penalty. But these compassion elements, they are part of our evolution. And we're going to see this coming more and more, because it's a law of love. It's a law that we all here are under this God's love, right? And I'm going to finish reading a poem, a really beautiful one that I got. Just a second. I brought like an audio message that didn't work. But we know there is no chance, so it's because I need to read this poem here. I know that my voice is not the best one, but I'll try. Just a second.
Your voice is a gift of God.
Yeah, it's a gift of God. But I know that as I told you, sometimes I go too fast, and I have this tendency to, how can I say, go like football, soccer game. Go! So I'll try to go slow. The idea is that you guys could enjoy. The name is from Khalil Gibran, and it's a really beautiful poem here. So I'm going to read for you. When love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings unfold, you yell to him, though the sword hiding among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams, as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crows you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for you growth, so is he for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and carries your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself. He thrashes you to make you naked. He sifts you to free you from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant. And then he assigns you to his sacred fire, that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world, where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love for love. If it finds you worth, direct your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires: to melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night, to know the pain of too much tenderness, to be wounded by your own understanding of love, and to bleed willingly and joyfully, to wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving, to rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy, to return home at eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. That's it.
Thank you so much, Denise. You can stay.
Yeah, I'll start.
So any questions for anyone here in the room or in the internet? No questions there? Any questions here? I love the reminder to all of us that we do have a direct connection with God without intermediaries, right? And all we need is think about God, right? Connect with God. So thank you so much, Denise, once more. I wanted to say thanks for everyone who follow this talk, and wish you a blessed week. Thank you very much. We will just prepare the room right now for the passes. So thanks very much.